Welcome back to another episode of Stand on Guard. I'm your host, David Krayden. Thanks for joining me today on Friday, August the 2nd. Here we are into August. Well, you can't go through a week without former Defence Minister and current Emergency Preparedness Minister Harjit Sajan doing something stupid. Let's find out what that is in a minute. So we are in a very precarious position in this country. We need political change, but we also need the resolve to resist. Yes, please like this station. Subscribe if you haven't. Resubscribe if you need to do that, because YouTube loves to unsubscribe people. Happens to me all the time, and I'm sure it happens to you. But if you can support us in any way, we appreciate it. Thank you. I'm really, really grateful for the support all you folks have shown me throughout the year. It's been an exciting political year, and as I said, there's never any shortage of news. Even though it's summer, Parliament's not sitting. There are some committee hearings going on, but of course that doesn't stop the news. And I'll give credit to Globe and Mail here. This was their scoop, and few other publications have actually touched this yet. This came out this morning. I had never heard of this Punjabi pop star, Diljit Donsanjh. I'm sure he's a talented fellow, but this is all about identity politics and Trudeau and Sajjan pandering to the Sikh vote in Canada. And, I think most Sikhs just want to be treated as equal Canadians. They do their job, they look after their families, and they support a lot of the same things small C conservatives do. But there's always a verbal minority, a very strong minority amongst these folks who is looking for special status, and of course that's what identity politics is all about. It's about focusing on people's race and ethnicity, language, other things, and not what brings us all together as Canadians. Doesn't unify us as Canadians. We're all Canadian, and I've always said stop the hyphenation for anything. I'm a Canadian. You are a Canadian. And why this cabinet minister, Sajjan, thought he could get away with this. He put a request in to the current Defence Minister, Bill Blair, to ask for uniformed Canadian Armed Forces members to act as a backdrop, like these folks here, at one of Dosanjh's concerts, specifically the Vancouver concert that Sajjan attended. And we'll have more of this to show you in a minute here. But incredibly, in 2017, Sajjan actually awarded this entertainer with a Canadian Forces medal. It's some kind of coin. I don't know whether they give these away to anybody, or I spent over 12 years in the military myself. I never saw one of these things. I don't know. They gift these to buddies, or I have no idea. But anyway, he got a medal for his concert tour in Canada. I mean, this is really quite incredible. And of course, when he played Toronto, guess who was in town? A surprise visit from Justin Trudeau. We have some video of that in a minute to show you. In fact, why not? Why not show it to you now? It's incredible. I mean, this is surreal. Only way I can describe this video. And it shows how peculiar, strange the Trudeau government has become. It's not just a bad government, but it's a damn strange government. It does things that you scratch your head saying, what is going on here?
Diljit Donsanjh performed in Canada this past weekend to a packed house at Rogers Centre in Toronto. He created history again as he became the first Punjabi artist to fill up the venue. Diljit Donsanjh, though, got a surprise visit from none other than Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Diljit was delighted to meet the Canadian Prime Minister as they shared a hug. And Justin Trudeau also met Diljit's team and crew as they made him and Diljit cheer the singer's trademark line, "The Punjabis have arrived."
So Trudeau is standing with his acolytes there, and while they're clapping in the circle, they're chanting Trudeau, Trudeau, Trudeau. Strange. I mean, this is really, really bizarre. But that's... And Sajjan actually had the nerve to suggest uniformed members of the Canadian Armed Forces should stand behind. Were they expected to sing and dance? It's not clear from the reports that I've read whether or not these uniformed personnel were expected to sing and dance, clap maybe, or just gush over this wonderful entertainer from India. I don't know, but certainly I wish the guy all the luck in the world. But it's Trudeau just can't pass up a photo op, can he? He can't pass up an opportunity to be worshipped by the throngs, because he gets precious little of it from people in Canada these days. Everywhere he goes, he attracts a protest. Every time he stops to speak anywhere, there's demonstrators and a demonstration awaiting him. So this was a real change of tune, no pun intended, for Justin Trudeau to attend this concert and apparently just be overwhelmed by his admirers as he went on the stage and gave a big hug to Diljit Donsanjh, who, of course, I know now who this guy is. And apparently Trudeau is a massive fan. And he actually put it on X, and read that. Yeah, he on X, I haven't got the thing here, but he posted on X saying, "Canada's a great country, one where a guy from Punjab can make history and sell out stadiums." Well, that didn't go over too well with the Indian government, because they don't like the fact that Trudeau is treating the Punjab region like it's a sovereign state and it's part of India. And he couldn't say that because Trudeau, of course, panders to the Sikh population in Toronto and Vancouver. And Harjit Sajan is a master of this. In fact, let us remind ourselves what this guy has been up to. During the Afghan evacuation, lest we forget, Sajjan screwed that one up badly. I mean, the whole operation was bad from the American perspective as well. But you think Canada could have at least done a competent job, not with the Sajjan as defense minister. No, what he did was he gave priority to rescue Afghan Sikhs, not Canadians, not the Afghan translators who were assisting the Canadian troops and bureaucrats who were deployed in Afghanistan. He said, rescue these people first. Then he pretended, well, that wasn't a real order. No, it wasn't a real order. It was just sort of a suggestion. Yeah, right. When the defense minister puts out a memo or a message saying, do this, it is regarded as an order, because that's who's in charge of the military, the civilian. The Minister of National Defense is in charge of the military, not the Chief of Defense Staff. He is subordinate to the Minister of National Defense. So when the minister puts out a message like that, it is regarded as a direct order. And that's how it was interpreted. And the Canadian military wasted its resources when it could have been looking after Canadians. We left over 100 Canadians in Afghanistan because of this jerk and his priorities. And why was he doing this? Once again, I take my hat off to Globe and Mail, because this Bob Fife, my old friend Bob Fife, reported this story. And he also did a follow-up after Sajjan complained that it's all about my turban. It's because I'm a Sikh. This is all racist. The bad press is all rooted in racism. Well, guess who was donating to his constituency association during the Kabul airlift? Afghan Sikh sponsors. Follow the money. You donate enough to Sajjan's campaign or his office, things happen for you. You get action. And that's exactly what these people got. They got action. So, I mean, that is just the essence of government corruption in a nutshell. Can't make it any clearer than that. That is absolutely corrupt behavior. Now, what is Sajjan? Has he been up to other things, I wonder? Are we just discovering now the carnage this man left as defense minister? Of course, you will recall again, he greatly exaggerated his heroic role in fighting the Taliban. This guy was a lieutenant colonel, Army Reserve, and he was deployed over to Afghanistan as an Army reservist. He claimed while he was defense minister that he played a pivotal role in the fight against the Taliban, specifically in a battle where Canada played a prominent role. And I'm going to say it, he lied about it. Not just exaggeration. It wasn't just hyperbole. It was a lie. And he got caught in the lie. And this is the guy who managed to stay in that portfolio for 6 years. How in the hell was that possible? Probably the most incompetent defense minister Canada has ever had. And Sajjan was there for 6 years before he was relieved of his duties. Yeah, he was actually censured by Parliament because of the extent of the sexual abuse in the military, which he apparently did nothing about, refused to address. He was just too busy looking after his friends, obviously, using the ministerial portfolio for the wrong reasons, using national defense for the wrong reasons. This is just bare-faced corruption. And of course, where did they shunt this guy over? He's still a cabinet minister. And it's almost like a bad joke. He's the Minister of Emergency Preparedness. This guy couldn't be prepared for an emergency in his backyard. And yet here he is. They kept him in the cabinet because he is an important linchpin in Justin Trudeau's identity politics. This is all about the vote, getting the vote out in Vancouver South, the Sikh vote out for the Liberal Party. That's all this is about. It's worst case of identity politics. And this guy should not be in cabinet. He should not have been rewarded with another cabinet post after 6 horrible years in the defense portfolio. I mean, I hesitate to say Bill Blair is an improvement, but he probably is a minor improvement over Sajjan, who clearly was never looking after the best interests of the military. He never had that in mind. So when this story broke today, I just thought, here we go again. What else has this guy been doing in his years? What's he doing now? I mean, ironically, he's the guy Ottawa sent out on behalf of the federal government to liaise with Alberta Premier Daniel Smith during the Jasper wildfire. I mean, this guy obviously is not going to take any responsibility for the role of forestry, of how the lack of effective forestry in this country led to that fire. It wasn't the weather. It was, once again, government incompetence. You didn't hear anything about that from Sajjan, and I don't know what the hell he did out there, except stand in the background at photo opportunities looking like he was really concerned, standing next to a premier who's got more moxie than he'll ever imagine. And I have to laugh because when this guy was appointed as defense minister, you heard all the media people saying, oh, this is one badass minister. Yeah, he's been in combat. Yeah, right. He's been in the rear of combat operations because he's a combat engineer. So no, he's not out there with the infantry, the artillery, or the armor. No, but this just blows my mind that he continues to be applauded. And anyway, that is the state of our national defense in this country. Even though he's no longer there, his legacy continues. His legacy is still there in national defense. And my God, when I had a look recently at how bad things now, of course, now they've got a DEI hire chief of defense staff, just like they had in the RCMP. And this is, once again, it's all about identity politics. This is why General Krayden was appointed as chief of defense staff, because she's a woman. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to have a woman as CDS anymore. I worked for a lot of very competent female officers in the Canadian Armed Forces during my time in uniform. However, this particular woman has been very prominent in the demilitarization of the armed forces, making dress and deportment codes so low that you can't recognize soldiers, sailors, and airmen from their civilian counterparts, and making the military culture weaker. She's been involved in that. Anyway, this is not a rant about our current CDS. I don't think she's had an opportunity to screw up too much yet. She just got in there. Sajjan had 6 years to screw up, and he did it brilliantly. And we're still discovering the legacy of Sajjan's odyssey as National Defense Minister. Anyway, that's all I want to say today, because let's call it the outrage of the week. And I'll be back again tomorrow and Sunday, because we missed yesterday, and there was lots going on, and I've got lots more to say about the news of the week. Thanks for watching, folks. We love you, and God bless you.